Welcome to the 5 Saturdays Train the Facilitator Learning Experience. This is Dr. Dave, your facilitator. In our time together, we will discuss creative thinking as a pathway for innovation through the art of storytelling. Our topics today include storytelling, creative thinking, story development using lean coffee, dot voting, selecting teams, and what-if ideation. Learning objectives. At the end of this learning session, you will be able to create stories using creative thinking techniques, collaborate with team members using lean coffee, develop and prioritize themes, explore innovations with the what-if method. The following are a list of materials needed for this workshop. You will need post-it notepads or pieces of paper, Sharpies, markers, pens, and/or pencils, large pieces of white paper, or a post-it easel pad. Storytelling. Stories are found in caves, books, movies, blogs on the internet. It is one of the oldest forms of education. We learn it from our family and our friends, often inspire us to dream and innovate. I would like you to think of a few stories that has inspired you or scared you. Elements of a story. What settings, plots, and themes are to be conveyed? Who are the actors or personas? What actions are to be taken? Themes are the central ideas to be conveyed. Settings are the places where your story takes place. Plots are what your story is about. Answering these questions will help you develop a wonderful story.
So what about the alien?
There's also
So how would you describe the alien? Our alien baby.
So he's in danger. Oh, okay. I was thinking there's a rescue.
there is a
So
rescue
in
mission,
a lot of these, like we've already seen.
and then there could be disease involved, or some kind of
to add urgency to it.
yeah.
We created the Lucy Goes to Mars, the Mars Rover Rescue Mission story. While watching the video, do the following. On one post-it note, write down the settings, plots, and themes. On a separate post-it note, write down the actors or personas. On a different post-it note, write down the actions taken. Hello, Lucy.
Hello, Dr. John.
Lucy, we have a problem in Mars. We have not heard from the rover Spirit. We think it is broken.
How can I help?
I want you to go to Mars and bring Spirit back to Earth.
Are you sure the mission will be successful?
Yes, Lucy. I am sure the mission will be successful. You can take the spaceship Savior.
Thank you, Dr. John. I will leave immediately.
Check ignition, and may God's love be with you.
Check ignition and may God's love be with you.
Finally, I have arrived on Mars. Dr. John said to look for Spirit on the south side, about 2 days' walk from here. Spirit! Where are you? There, I see something. Spirit, I'm so glad to find you. Dr. John told me you were broken.
Hi, Lucy. I was broken, but Albert fixed me.
Who is Albert?
This is Albert.
Robot man. Whoa. Show me man.
Hi, Albert. Nice to meet you. Spirit, I must take you back to Earth.
Can Albert come with us?
No, I'm sorry, he can't come.
Please, Lucy, he fixed me.
Let me call Dr. John and ask him. Hello, Dr. John. Can I bring an alien back to Earth?
Yeah, hello, Lucy. We hope all is going well. Can you check his credentials?
Hold on. Let me check. Albert, do you have a passport?
Say,
Dr. John, he appears to be a legal alien. Okay, I'll bring him back then. Goodbye. Dr. John says you can come back to Earth. Albert, you and I can ride on Spirit until we get to my spaceship.
here go.
There is my spaceship Savior. It will take us back to Earth. We are heading home, boys.
See, pretty Lucy, he's too.
Of course, Albert. Let's go see him now. Dr. John, I have returned from the mission with Spirit, and this is Albert.
Hello, I am Albert.
Hello, Albert. Nice to meet you. Welcome back, Lucy. Congratulations on a successful mission.
Thank you, Dr. John.
Check ignition and may God's love be with you.
Work in teams to discuss your experiences with the Lucy Goes to Mars story. Let's set up a time box of 5 minutes to discuss the following: settings, plots, and themes. Actors or personas. Actions taken while watching the Lucy Goes to Mars story. Creative thinking is comprised of ideation, the generation of ideas or innovation, which can be sustaining or disruptive. Sustaining, improving existing products or services. Disruptive, new ideas or products or services that changes the market. Iterative planning, the process of incremental change. Cognitive reasoning, the evaluation of ideas. Change, a different vantage point or paradigm shift. Risk, taking steps forward without knowing the outcome. Creative thinking uses stories to communicate an idea, provides a visual of what we want people to see, expresses what problem is to be solved, create new ways to evaluate things that block us from success, help us dream of an innovative way forward. Developing stories with Lean Coffee. In 2009, Jim Benson and Jeremy Lightsmith created Lean Coffee. They wanted a structured but agenda-less meeting format, which enables brainstorming to generate new ideas, drive priorities based on team members or participants' votes. The participants have an equal voice. Ideas can be captured and then grouped into themes. Lean Coffee has 6 steps, and we added a 7th step for affinity grouping to capture themes. Step 1. Create a Kanban board with 3 columns with the following titles: 1. To discuss, 2. Discussing, and 3. Discussed. Step 2. Time box 5 minutes to allow each person to quietly write down their ideas on a Post-it note. Remember, 1 Post-it note per idea in all caps. Step 3. Time box 5 minutes to allow each person to introduce their topics using 1 to 2 sentences. Step 4. Prioritize what to discuss by dot voting. We want to start with the highest priority, most votes, and end with the lowest priority, least votes. Step 5. Discuss each topic as a group, starting with the highest priority and ending with the lowest priority. Step 6. Manage the flow by limiting each conversation with a time box of 5 minutes and use Roman voting to determine the following. 1. Thumbs up, discuss more. 2. Thumbs in the middle, unsure, and decide if to proceed or stop. 3. Thumbs down, stop and move on to the next topic. Step 7 is not a lean coffee practice, but an affinity grouping technique to capture the ideas that are common to create a theme for your story. Now let us watch a video of lean coffee in action.
Sure. So lean coffee is a lightweight and agendaless meeting format. It's a good way to, you've heard about retrospectives earlier, a good way to get issues on a table that we want to talk about and then vote on, kind of self-organize on what's the most important topics on the table that are in front of us. So for making a story, I think you can also use it. I haven't used it in this application before, but it seems like it'd be a great application. So what have we got here? I'm going to walk through what it might look like physically. You'll start with a Kanban board, which is basically something. I'm going to take an erasable marker here and just write on the board. A Kanban board is
Here you go.
permanent.
Some expos.
Yeah, just toss me one of them. One of them's good. Two of them's good. Okay. A Kanban board just looks like we have up there. You have a to-do column, a doing, in progress, and a done column. So we might take something like index cards or sticky notes and write a topic on one card, or in this case, if we're writing a story, we might write a story idea or a character or a setting on one card. And you just want to keep it pretty simple. So in this case, we might put Mars as a setting. I think, wow, I was inspired by Lucy Goes to Mars. I think that would be a really cool one. Someone else is like, no, I think the setting should be Chicago. So we'll put Chicago on here. And we might have a few of these different settings, and then everyone has a chance to vote on what setting sounds like the most appealing for our story. So there's 15 of us in the room. We each get maybe a vote with a pen, and we'll start dot voting. And Mars might get like 4 votes, but Chicago, it ends up gets 12. So more people want to have the setting in Chicago. Am I on the right track with you?
Keep going. You're doing it right.
This sounds like a pretty good application, actually. I've never thought about using it for a storytelling application. So I think I lost my remote control. Your remote control.
Right here.
There it is. Okay. But now you see how it's the settings or the different topic ideas kind of come up and emerge through the group. We're coming up with them and we're deciding as a group what seems to be the most interesting. So now we've got everything voted on, and we'll take the highest, the one with the most votes, and we'll discuss that first. If it's a retrospective type meeting where we're just trying to discuss everything, we might focus on that first for our story. And then we'll time box our discussion to something like 5 minutes or so. We might use a telephone with a little countdown timer, something like you've got there maybe. And then at the end of 5 minutes, if people still want to discuss it, we'll just do a thumbs up and say, yeah, I'm really into it. Let's keep talking about it. Or a thumbs down that says, yeah, I think we've got enough. And kind of glance around the room and see, like, are there more thumbs up or thumbs down? And then we'll either move on or extend it out. That's basically the concept of how to run a lean coffee. How to, what types of things can we do to make a story by using lean coffee? Yeah, John.
Yeah, I was just thinking, discussion is one way of collaborating, coming up with, these story elements. Another way is using applied improv. So let's say after you've done your dot voting and you've got your stickies that are about personas or that are about settings and maybe, story plot lines, you could say, okay, so let's do 5 minutes of improv. You gather, some people to be in that story, and you literally just make it up as you go and see like, okay, was this a good, scene? Let's say it was a 3-minute scene or something. Do people want to try it again, for if there's a thumbs up vote? Or do you want to say, okay, I think we've exhausted, the creative potential with this improv session. So kind of, stacking one approach to collaboration on top of the other.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I think that if you are using the lean coffee to go from like a character set of, say, 12 characters and whittling it down to the maybe most popular, most interesting 5 or so, and then kind of running that through like your scenario. Okay, now that we've talked about these characters and have an idea, let's try putting them into an improvised setting and seeing how it goes. That sounds like a really fun activity.
Selecting themes and priorities. If you have multiple themes, here are 8 steps to help you select the theme with the highest priority. Number 1, place the Post-it sticky notes on a board, wall, or table. Look for ideas that are similar. Sort the Post-it sticky notes into groups or themes. Have discussions about each theme. Make changes as agreed upon. Draw a circle around each theme and write a descriptive label. Vote for the theme to develop your story. Rank the themes from highest to lowest priority. Voting is one technique that will be used to democratically select ideas or themes with the highest to lowest priorities. The instructions on how to use voting follows. Once all ideas or themes are identified, call the members to vote. Ground rules. Each team member use a pen or marker. 3 votes per team member. Each member can distribute votes across multiple themes. Each member may use all votes for one idea or theme. After the team members have voted, total the votes. The total priorities are the top 3 with the most votes.
Give yourself 6 dots, and I want you to put a dot on whatever you feel the most emphatic about, and it's just like dot voting before. This is just a way to kind of give a weight and a priority to Dave as he considers all of these suggestions and ideas. And put them up there, don't think twice, and sit back down.
Dots for what?
For these ideas about what went well.
What to make better?
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most important thing
Yeah.
to you?
So we only get 6 dots, period.
Only 6 dots, period. You can,
Any of those, right?
Yeah.
So wherever we want to avoid.
You have
anyone on the sticky.
dots. You can apply them to any one of those buttons.
Or anyone.
If you want to put all 6 in one, yeah.
All right, got mine up. This was great. And actually, I don't even know what we need to add about what went well, because it was great work. You did some great work.
You could be using the guy that I'm being talking to sometimes.
Yeah.
Story development in Lean Coffee. We will use Lean Coffee and story cubes to tell a different story about Lucy Goes to Mars. In our next exercise, follow these instructions. 1. Select the story cubes to tell the Lucy Goes to Mars story. 2. Follow the 7 steps in the Lean Coffee illustration. 3. Time box the Lean Coffee exercise for 10 to 15 minutes. Ideate and keep the following in mind. What settings, plots, and themes are to be created? Who are the actors or personas? What actions are to be taken? Each story has a beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
Okay, it's the ones that one.
How many dots do you have? 4, 5. So which one? There you go.
A rat.
That's not voting. Oh.
There's rat. They're sneaky. Right? They mean, like they're quiet.
Yes.
Kind of like capture people. They hold people. Jail. So what can we come up with? But the heart doesn't even fit in. Fast.
Changing your goal.
So
They were using the rat to get in somewhere and they got caught.
How about they use the rat to disarm the
oh yeah, to bite it off. It's like little cables, and then they got caught. But who's they?
What if method? Now that we have practiced developing stories with lean coffee, let's look at the what if method to explore ideas and identify hidden innovations. Evaluate the status quo or existing state of affairs. Ponder what if alternatives. Consider innovative ideas by asking imagine if. Let's take the example of the status quo that Spirit returns to Earth with Lucy.
The what if method is just expanding on that, the idea of lean coffee. So you're going to be using the status quo or the existing state of affairs, which is like the theme of going into it, like Spirit returning to Earth with Lucy. So you're going to ask yourself the question, what if something different would happen? So you can get your juices flowing and actually imagine something else. Like, what if Spirit decided to stay on Mars? What would happen then? So then you end up thinking, after the what if, you go to the imagine if. If you imagine, because Spirit staying on Mars, the cause of it would be becoming the connection between the Martians and humans. But for me, when I imagine if Spirit not going back to Earth with Lucy, I think that there's going to be like a big war between Mars and Earth. That's pretty much what you try to do, just expand a simple idea and make it into something bigger.
What if method exercise. Use the theme selected from the Lean Coffee session. Create 3 columns titled Status Quo, What If, and Imagine If. Time box the what if exercise for 10 to 15 minutes. Write on a post-it sticky notes the possible status quo actions. For each status quo, write a what if question on a post-it note. For each what if, write an imaginative statement on a post-it note. Dot vote on the what if and imaginative scenarios. Decide what to include in the story. Thank you for setting aside time to enrich your community and life. Until next time, continue to share joy, wisdom, and good fortune.